I'm Russ. I play guitar and I sing.
I'm Justin. I play guitar.
I'm Mike, and I play bass and I sing.
You've been here before supporting various bands, and you've supported people like Taken Haley and Route 94 before. You seem to have been constantly touring for since you started. You started in 2010, didn't you?
We started in 2010, and I think playing live has been really probably the most important thing. We spent a long time making our record, which is out now, which is called 56, and that since the end of that, we've just been trying to play live as much as possible.
Yeah.
We had, I think the relentlessness comes from the fact we played with Taken Haley and then Room 94 in just this huge month and a half of touring, and now we're doing our own tour, and we've got some more now. So yeah, it feels like we've been playing for a long time towards the end of this year. Yeah.
Yeah, but you did loads of tours last year as well, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, all over the shop.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't stop playing though, for that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You've not been just around the UK, you've been all over Europe, haven't you? What have been any highlights for you? Because I guess you get to see the cities at the same time.
Yeah.
All of the cities are great.
Zurich, fantastic. I haven't been there before, that was good. But also going back to places that you've already been to, like just for other bits of the club, then playing there, that's always really cool as well. You can see different sides of it, different people that come and see the shows.
Yeah.
As opposed to just going there, or any other reason you might be there. That's good.
I think Germany for me was pretty amazing. They have so much of a bigger music culture than we have here.
Yeah, they do.
Massively.
Yeah.
So when you go over and play, it's a big thing for them. Like music is actually like a thing it's like part of almost like their day, you know, it's like what they have to do. So I guess you see a lot of different culture as well as just the physical bits. The culture's really important. I think Germany is the best music, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, and also
the reception was really good.
yeah, the people as well.
Yeah, so it's
I mean, all the places we went to were like beautiful places.
The best part about it as well is food is easy out there.
Yeah.
oh, food is so much better.
Just like
Go to Europe.
Traveling.
Don't
food.
stay here. Food.
Traveling food. So you pull over on the side of the road, you get
Just
really,
there.
you know, you go to France, you get coq au vin. Here, I don't know what you get. You get some sort of
Greasy hamburger.
There we are. If you're lucky.
If you get that, yeah.
So it's cool. You can talk forever then. You've got good energy levels. We go for miles. I think for at least 2 miles.
Oh, you did? At least 2 miles from wherever we stopped.
Yeah. Whatever. It's all about that.
So, what dates have you got coming up later this year for this tour?
This tour, well, we're going to Manchester tomorrow, Manchester Academy 3, which is a big favourite of ours. That's going to be, that'll be fantastic. We love playing there. It's awesome.
What's special about it?
Well, it's just, I tell you what, from a band perspective, the venue's great, the people with the sound guys are excellent, and the stage is great, and all the people in Manchester come to see us. The culture there is really, really good.
Yeah.
It's just a really good venue. There's some great venues around the country, but particularly there, if you're at our stage of gigging, it's probably one of the best places you can play, I think, in the country for this kind of like academy level. It's really, really good. So once you get a good crowd there, it's just brilliant. Yeah.
We're always up for a good time.
What about Hometown? How's that like playing?
Hometown was great. We did our album launch. It's a bit of family. Well, they still people, everyone turns up, but now we have a lot of people that we don't, really not associate with come, which is amazing. Because now we've got people that
But on the venue front though, Concord 2.
Concord 2 is one of the best venues in the country, unless you start playing arenas. So to do your album launch there is,
special.
people, the Food Fighters and stuff do all their smaller shows there.
Yeah.
It's a big venue for in terms of like spec. So it's a great place to play. Yeah. So that's really cool. We're going back. We're going playing in Audio actually on the 19th, which is a different venue in Brighton. We're going to do that towards the end of this show, just because we can put on multiple shows now in Brighton because we've expanded so quickly as well. So
Because we can.
because we can.
That's it.
Yeah. Because you
asked for it, tour. You got it.
You've got to have a huge fan base to be able to tour as much as you do. People come and see you time and time again. It's
But it grows.
incredible.
Thanks.
Yeah, it
The word gets out there. Like this now, this way.
I think we just concentrate on trying to be as good as we possibly can, and I think once you get to that point where you go, okay, we're at this level now, we're always trying to push ourselves higher and higher,
Yeah.
and people definitely respond to that. There's the golden rule of being as good as you possibly can be. We're not where we want to be yet, but we're definitely at at a level now,
Yeah.
especially having a record out where people can engage with music. We didn't have a record out for a long time. We had EPs and we were slaving away at that. Now that's out there, that's definitely given everything a bit of a, you know, a boost.
Talk to me about your record. What are your favourites from it? What influenced it? Who influenced it?
That's a good question.
Well, she's gone deep.
Very
Oh
good
man, that's a big umbrella.
What do you want to start with?
Who influenced it? What bands?
I think from the writing perspective, the bands that really influenced this record in particular was anybody that sounded, you know, more in a kind of big widescreen rock style,
Yeah.
but not trying to like pigeonhole certain bands as such. It was more like when I was writing the material, it was more, okay, well, I really like this group, so I really like this kind of Queen record, I like this Who record, I like this kind of, you know, Stones record and Spears record, and what is it about that makes it big stage rock music? And we're really big into, you know, guitar music and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So it's more kind of, you know, it's from that kind of classic era. But we do also play very straight ahead rock and roll, like 50s rock and roll, not kind of, you know, rock music today. So that kind of really, the reason why it's called 56 was to try and pin it into a cultural area of a record. Like it's rock music, but it's got the hint of that kind of older era too. So that's what influenced it. Such it wasn't this, you know, I'll sit down and make a Who record.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make, you know, Quadrophenia like my version of that. So that's really where the influence comes from, and then hopefully some divine intervention pops in there. So, you know, some infinite intelligence comes along and sticks it all together somehow.
From a soundscape point of view, there's also music that's able to fill massive spaces. So, for example, you're playing this stuff in massive arenas. There's so, you know, the instrumentation, the amount of people in the band all playing, you know, the 5 people and vocals. There's not.
Oh, it's as big as it's trying to be as big as possible.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
So more space would be useful physically, I guess. So it's, you know, the thing is that the bigger places we play, we feel more at home because we all try and perform on stage as well. Sometimes because, you know, me and Mike do bash into each other quite a lot. The small venues that we just jump around, try and have a good time, and expanse really suits what we're trying to do. And you know, we're trying to do it with a bit of a more classic tilt towards it as well. So yeah, that's
the influence.
That's the influence of the record.
How do you go about writing it? Because some people, they just sort of sit and they slave away at it, and it doesn't exactly sound particularly appealing. Some bands, they sit in a studio and they just play around with chords until it comes together. Do you have a particular technique?
Yeah, I won't give them all away because that would be, you know, that would be telling. But I think the writing really comes from two things. It comes from the discipline of writing as an art form. So sitting down and going, okay, well, I want to write this type, how I did this type of track. And then, unfortunately, most of the time, those tracks sound quite contrived, but you do end up with a lot of material. And every now and then, from that process, you get one that pokes its head up, and you're like, okay, well, that's what I was searching for. You have a discipline of writing like that, which is just something that you work on, like any artist might paint, you know, X amount of paintings per day or something, and then maybe end up with something and throw most of it away. But that's one discipline. The second discipline, which is really the magical side of it, is when you sit down and just write and it just happens. So I wrote No Hero, which is a big favourite of people, on the record in 10 minutes. Literally about 10 minutes. It took me about 2 goes. I had all the lyrics and everything in about 10 minutes, and I had it stuck on a CD because I tend to record. I used to record everything on a tape recorder. For people that remember what tape recorders were, and I used to have millions of cassettes that were all knackered. I used to just sit on the piano or guitar, just press record, and just go, and then I just stop it and just put the cassette away, never listen to it, and then I come back to it. And ever since I could record stuff on my phone, I just press record on my phone, like on the, you know, like the memo thing.
Oh yeah.
And I wrote No Hero on my phone by just putting it next to a piano, wrote it on the piano, and that happened. And then all the guys came to the studio, and then we made No Hero from something that was like 10 minutes long. And the irony is, things like the Call 56, I actually had to slave and construct that. And it was much more of a more like almost like a pained activity. But no, Hero was completely instant. So that's how I write. I'm sure other people are much better than me at writing, but I seem to have a two-pronged approach. I think as you get better, you develop more of an instinct. So sometimes I don't write for a long period of time because just every time you write, you feel so really forced.
Yeah.
If you've got nothing to say, then there's no point in doing it until I get annoyed or pissed off.
Got to make something you love, otherwise.
Yeah. So sometimes I won't write for a long period of time, but when I do write, it's very intensely. You know, before this record, I had about 400 songs catalogued that I'd written for the album, spanning over years of writing. And I just got rid of most of them. So it is, you know, it's like anything. It literally is it's like 80% discipline, and then, you know, the rest of it is the beat. You know, the magic bit you kind of open up.
Were there any past events that influenced your songwriting? Are they made up events, or the actual lyrics? Are they based on anyone, or
it depends on the song. Yeah, Mike's right. A lot of the time, the way I write, which is. I've later found out John Lennon wrote a lot like this, which I'm not saying that I'm any in the same league as the Beatles at all, but I don't write purposely lyrically. Sometimes it will just be I have to either collect like song titles and I'll write off there, and sometimes lyrics will form and ideas will form, which are more conceptualised over maybe what song titles are about. Certain songs, like The Whole Wide World, was written as a direct idea before I wrote it. It was much more about seeing things in a more open way, rather than being stuck in, you know, kind of, oh, this is what's going on, and actually see the fuller potential. Because someone that I knew had just started a new venture off in their life, and it was going really well for them, and they actually, it wasn't something that they thought they'd been doing, and they were doing really well. I thought, oh, that's really interesting, because it's not, when you're in a band, you see, everyone in the band, especially these guys, were people that were trying to just push our envelope and get most out of what we're trying to do. And she was doing that too. I thought, oh, that's really interesting. So I wrote a song like that. But I don't actually write a lot like that. They tend to be, I have a song titled called Too Many Dreams Have Gone. And I don't know what it's about. You know, I know more about what it's about now, but sometimes I have to sit and think about it. I just thought the title was great with the chords and the piano, and then it kind of germinates from there, really.
What are your personal favourites from the album?
I think a good song that really gives us the energy and a lot of the sound influences, like the rock and roll element and the craziness, is Ghost King rock and roll, because it's up tempo, has kind of a bluesy rock and roll rhythm to it, has crazy guitar stuff going on, lots of piano, lots of vocals, everything's happening on that one. That's really cool. Live, I like The Whole Wide World. It's really cool.
See, for us, it's a prompt question, because live is live. There are tracks that are great,
it's a whole different
and
thing.
some are really difficult. Like, you kind of hate some. Oh no, here we go. Yeah, so that's cool. What do you got, Mike?
On the record, I really like Wreck and Road. I just think it just fits really well on the track listing on the record, and also just as a song, I just think it's a really great song. But live, like the boy says, I really like Life Keeps Dancing. It's just fun to play, there's loads of energy to it, and it's just a song for me that always gets the crowds involved. It's the first song in our set, and it just really sets the mood for the rest of the show, and I think that's my personal favourite live song.
So when it comes to touring, who's the messiest on tour? Who you always have to clean up after?
Who's the messiest? Well, put it this way, it's not us three.
No, that's the easy way to say it.
Mike.
He doesn't want to be
very much doubt it.
Definitely is
I
that.
very much doubt that.
Yeah, but it's not. Put it this way, it's not us three.
Right.
You were talking to literally the three most
Yeah,
close people in the group.
This is the wrong band for that.
Got to be Adam in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we didn't say it. Murray may have.
We're the wrong band for that. We're like.
Yeah, I think you can tell my word on that, it's Adam.
Yeah.
And you can quote me on that.
Your video now, Murray.
we're like the worst band for that kind of stuff because we're really tidy. So what do you want to know? I can show you how organised my shaving kit is. 100% badger hair all the way. Leather case up. What do you want to know?
There's so much stuff there. If you're not organised to some extent,
Just on that note,
you just lose everything. Yeah, so.
I will just say that if you are going to go in this current climate about badgers, the best shaving brush is 100% badger hair. So there we go.
Well, you might be seeing a lot more or less.
So we're getting one in. That's very current. It's current affairs. What else do you want to know from my shaving kit?
I was just going to ask you how long it takes you to do your hair and who takes the longest.
Look at it.
Right. My hair stays like this even if I wake up. This is my bed hair.
So the thing is,
mine's
Russell
easy.
Scott really good at sleeping, so he doesn't move. So he does his hair.
Have you seen that coffin?
Yeah.
He
does his hair the day
He goes
before.
out of bed. There's no duvet. It's a door.
And he goes to sleep, and his hair hasn't changed. So
This is true.
in some circumstances, he's the quickest because he gets up and it's done.
Yeah.
In others,
I'm a long-term investor of hair because I do it the day before, and it's true because it just.
But he
stays
literally
there.
sleeps like this. Just
I
doesn't
see.
move. That's it.
That's it.
Is that a practice habit?
No,
Or?
it was more something I had to learn. It just takes so long, and also dyeing of my hair. You've got red hair as well. So.
Yeah, I can imagine.
If you wash it too much, it just goes pink. And I'm not after pink, I'm after red. So.
Very important difference there. Yeah. Have you got any sort of pre-show preparation?
Here we are. Look at it. The glamour. We actually a bit of an acapella.
To be honest, not any rituals.
We don't have any
that we
rituals,
go
no.
through. No,
No
we just try
secret
to.
band handshake or anything like that.
We
It's
all,
incredibly corny.
we all double check, make sure everything's ready, like at all times. Like, is this plugged in? No. Oh, is this plugged in? Yes. Just going through
General
everything.
mad panic.
Just idiot checking before we go on stage, because otherwise we'll go on, go to play the guitar and it just won't work.
And you've just not got
And
it with
that's,
you.
yeah.
I am joining the day. I open a case and there's nothing in it. It's going. It's, you know. It's going
Oh, that's where I left that.
And I go, there's no guitar in this case.
Who set up your Carnie Army? That's your fan base. For anyone who doesn't know.
Well, the band created the Carnie Army concept, but there have been this group of individuals online that have made
Yorks.
It's the Yorks.
Yes,
isn't
the
it?
Yorks should be mentioned.
Thank you so much. You have set up the official Carnie Army band.
That was our first kind
And
of,
tremendous bakers as well.
yeah, that was our first kind of group that was set up by fans.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was great for us when that happened because we had never had it before,
Yeah.
and it was almost like a stepping stone because it kind of signified that people were actually listening and really enjoying what we were doing.
Yeah.
And they come to as many shows as they want. We've already seen them on this tour, and it's just basically a community where people can go and talk about what we're trying to achieve with the music and just discuss shows. Also, a lot of the people that come to the shows are actually friends through coming to the shows.
Yeah.
So they're online friends,
Yeah.
and then they meet each other at the shows, and they grow great friendships through coming to the gigs, which obviously is great because it's our show that all develops. So it's pretty special to have a dedicated fan group that actually have an active interest in us
Yeah.
and really support what we're doing.
But it comes from loving the music and really enjoying the shows. You've seen the show.
Yeah.
You've seen a bit of the show. It was the full one. But
You see 25 minutes.
yeah, it's good fun
Yeah.
and it's good energy and a good vibe.
Yeah.
These things. So people tend to go away sort of literally happier before they arrive. So that happens all the time. Last night, people coming out, I'm literally happier now. And I said, there we are. My job here is done.
Suppose if you change one person's life, that's something, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah, you can't buy
I'm
it.
changing
I
one
think
now.
you change more than one person's life by the amount of fans you have. It's phenomenal. It's incredible how.
Yeah, that bit's picking up really quick, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And that we're just really grateful for that. That's mad.
So
Really
thankful
grateful
for
for
support. Keep it up, guys.
So I guess you've seen some pretty big venues, right? What's the biggest venue you've played?
Biggest venue we've
Or
played.
biggest crowd?
We played Concord. We
Yeah,
sold
say Concord,
Concord out, which is about 650, 700.
That's the really, that was good. That was
played
packed.
something like that.
We played that before. It was,
Oh yeah.
that was huge.
We played. I think to talk about Cornwall 2, I think Cornwall 2 probably is the biggest headline show. I think.
That's the biggest headline.
The last Carnival show.
The last Carnival show.
Yeah.
We played. That was just mad. Because people don't end when you look out on the stage. They just keep going, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. You can't see the back of the crowd.
It's just a sea of bobbing heads. It's great.
Sea of pogoing.
It's brilliant.
What's the smallest crowd you've played to?
When we first started,
Yeah.
Just your parents.
no, we have not even that. We literally have had no people in the venue.
We have, and also literally played to one man and his dog.
We've literally done that.
Everyone says it as a stereotype. We have actually done it.
Because
With the dog.
With the dog.
If you had a dog.
Because when there's something about when venues are completely empty, a man and his dog appears. It's
He's
like
just
a kind
there.
of natural phenomenon.
there.
It just kind of happens.
With his dog
but
and
no
a
one
pint.
really knows where they come from, because even if the venue's full, the man and dog will not be there. So that's the smallest we played to.
Just the man and his dog or nobody.
Yeah, I think it's the natural progression for the band though, because obviously when you first start out,
You've got to start
like,
somewhere.
you've got to get your name out.
Yeah.
So and then obviously over the last couple of years,
You know, do
things
you
have
want
really
more than
started-
zero attendances?
Yeah.
Because obviously 0 attendances mean that they can't go and tell their friends.
Yeah.
So you can't multiply 0. If you multiply by 0, what happens?
Perhaps it was that man and the dog.
0.
Told his mates.
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't see any sheepdog on the next one.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and it's just grown and grown, and then obviously we're now at the stage where now we go up and down the country and people want to come and see us.
Yeah. It's just
It's
setting out venues, setting out your VIPs as well.
Yeah.
They sell out really quickly in some
They do,
places.
yeah.
That's
Tomorrow's
very-
been mental. How many people was it tomorrow?
Well, we
it's
stop it there.
insane.
We stop that because we don't want it just to be like everyone. Because we do performances and acoustic arrangements for that specific thing, so they get a performance in there as well and a chat. We don't just have as many people as we can get.
Yeah.
So we stop it. They sell out really quickly, but we want them to come and be able to talk to us.
Yeah.
And then we perform. Then we do all the photos and all that sort of stuff. If you have 80 people in there, you can't actually do that in time.
Still want
Yeah.
to keep it really intimate.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what the VIP's for. It's
Yeah.
a kind of different experience away from the show. It's a lot more personal.
We've been working really hard on, since the album's come out, we've worked really hard on making acoustic versions of the tracks we're doing, but not just us picking up acoustic guitars and playing it. I mean, me and Justin have a lot of interest in traditional styles of acoustic music that has almost nothing to do with the Last Carnival. And coming from a traditionalist background, taking that and making arrangements of the songs of the record, has really worked. We've been trying to get that into the VIPs. When you come to the VIP, you can see literally bluegrass versions of Louisa Ray and up-tempo songs, acoustic finger-picking versions of No Hero, and just really gritty blues acoustic, from like 30s kind of approach.
Yeah.
On tracks that on the record sound really modern, and that's a big thing that we've been trying to do for a while. And we've been doing it like backstage for a while. Like we kind of just would jam out that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now we're doing it in the VIP stuff. So we've been trying to introduce that as well, so people can see also our acoustic side of what we do. So yeah, that's
Bit off topic, but that's really interesting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not just don't just come in and be like just to be able to be around it.
Yeah.
You get our time.
What's been your most embarrassing experience on stage?
See me play.
Or worst injury?
Yeah.
If I actually thought about it, just look at me.
There hasn't ever been any
disaster.
catastrophes. There really hasn't been anything really
You've been trying for
bad.
ages, something must have gone
I know.
wrong.
We've never had people fall off the stage, like there's never been a fire or we had a.
But now you've said that, something really bad's going to happen
So
at
really
some
bad might
point.
happen.
I was gonna say,
Probably tonight now.
Stop.
Yeah,
We've never had something really
No, we've been quite lucky actually because we have never had the traditional band.
amps falling over, that didn't happen.
We've had that. We have had amps falling
Yeah.
off,
The first thing I knew about it was the guy in the audience was just going.
and his amp had just
Well, I was
kind of
going-
collapsed on itself.
I take that, I did it back to him.
reverse psychology.
I was like, so I turned around, and the amp's literally just going over. Well, all was well.
So not too bad then, really.
As amp falls go, it was a good one.
You've also created a lot of music videos. What's been your favourite to record? What's been your favourite one to do?
Well, what's been the quickest one to record? 56 was good because I could see, for me, you could see, really see an idea, and the design look of that was really good. It had, even the colour scheme for the video, the way it wrote, although it was mostly black and white, but the backdrop is used to the album and all that stuff, and you can really see that being part of the next design step for which became all the design for the album.
I think when we had the guy come in doing the graffiti, so obviously the video when it starts, he did actually physically create that, sprayed it on the wall.
He was in there for hours.
For hours, he was in there for hours, just spraying the wall. And so that was really interesting because we got the album cover. This guy he obviously planned what he was doing. This graffiti artist came in and he just did it, bang, in one go. That was the album cover. And the video at the same time. So that was pretty exciting because with hindsight, it was pretty special actually because it was so good. We're like, well, if he'd done it any differently for the album, it looks great. It's amazing how it's just kind of, that was
He
really
did it in sort of 3-4 hours, and he'd normally take a day, and he was inside, so there's no air. So he left.
We could stay in the room.
And he sort of left, and he sort of waddled away.
High off the fumes.
Yeah.
But he did such a good job, and as a result, we've got a great looking album artwork, and it was completely unplanned, really. Because we weren't intending on using the graffiti wall as the artwork, but then it looked so good. We couldn't not use it. It just worked.
You've still got quite a few lit dates left for this tour, but after that, have you got anything more planned yet?
There's things in the pipeline in terms of touring.
The thing is, if we told you that, we have to kill you, so...
Yeah. That's the bit we don't say. He says that bit. Justin's in charge of that. It's great.
Professionals take.
Yeah. So the announcements all happening very now.
Stay tuned tomorrow.
I mean, literally.
It's all happening today and tomorrow.
More tours, more videos, more everything. What do bands do? All of it.
All of the above. So, yeah, we have got lots of stuff planned. Also, next year is going to be a really big year. So we're just going to keep on doing what we're doing and keep on getting our music out there to everyone.
Any last words for your fan base, or should we say the Carnie Army?
The Carnie Army. Keep rocking!
Yeah.
You better be.
Yeah,
so I'm watching every gig. I see.
Can you bake me some more cakes?
Yeah,
Justin wants more cake.
Have you seen this boy? He's wasting away. Give him some more cakes.
Get him.
But no, thank you very much for your support. It means the world. And yeah, we'll see you at the show.
I want a drink too, look.